Hey art nerds, today we're going to take a look at some colorful color pencils that I picked up while I was in Japan. If you're curious to see how these handle, you guys are going to have to keep watching. So we're taking a look today at the Uni color pencils. These are also referred to as the NanoDia pencils. I have over here a 0.5 NanoDia that arrived in one of my Zempop boxes, and I was really excited when I saw that. It also came with a little pack of the mixed NanoDia color. And then we have over here a package of the Uni color, the NanoDia colors, and these were purchased while I was in Japan. And the big selling point for these is these are all erasable colored leads. Now, of course, these are not the first time I've ever talked about colored leads or colorful mechanical pencils here on this channel. I am a longtime fan of the Pilot Color Eno colored leads. I talk about these a lot and I use them basically every day. And I feel like these are their direct competitors. And way back when I was just a baby back just starting grad school, I was a big fan of using Uni color leads in 0.7 for my artwork. And then for a while, Uni discontinued their 0.7 leads and only did 0.5 leads. And since I'm heavy-handed, I kind of moved away and I discovered the Pilot Color Eno. I've also talked about and raved about the INC Color Point pencils here on the channel. You guys can check that out. They're part of my Dollar Tree review series, and these are neat because they're basically lead holders with a tiny little lead sharpener on the top, and the lead is removable and refillable. And my friends who have Daisos in their areas have reported to me that you can get similar pencils at Daiso and you can get the refills. So if you love these pencils and you have a Daiso, head on over there to see what they've got. But we're not really talking about all these other pencils today. No, we're really talking about the Uni color pencils today. We're going to do a little bit of comparison, we're going to do a little bit of sketching, and we're going to see if these are as good as some of the other pencils on the market. So we have our Uni colors, we have our Pilot Color Eno with the Neox color lead, and then we have our Color Point INC. In the future of this channel, I will review other mechanical pencils that utilize colored leads. In fact, I have a review on the Papermate colored leads coming soon. I know those have been out for a while and I've just been kind of tardy. But let's go ahead and take a look at our cute little package of Uni colors. So I picked these up in Japan. I cannot tell you how much I paid for them. I'm kind of looking for the price on the back. I'm not seeing it, but you guys will be able to find all that information in the description, and I'll try to wrap this up with a price comparison. So these pencils are much smaller than our other two pencils. In fact, these are basically the same as the 0.5. The 0.5 has a really cute translucent barrel, whereas the 0.7 has an opaque barrel with a translucent clip. And it's really just a matter of what's good for your hands, what's workable for your hands. With the transparent one, we can see that it's very simply made. There is a small spring in the front, there's a feed, and then there is a tube that contains your colored lead. You advance by clicking the back. There's a clip, and then if you want to access the eraser, you can do so by removing the back. Of course, I don't actually use the erasers on these because then you can't remove them. To refill it, though, you would remove the eraser from the back. Let's say you lose your eraser, you can just cap it and that'll work just fine. So it's a very simple mechanism. I know Joseph broke this one on the stream, but he fixed it for me. So I have a working NanoDia on hand, and I'd really like to see more of these products sold at regular stores, art supply stores, office supply stores, big box stores here in the US. Any of these. I mean, these are sold at Dollar Tree, but any of these, I'd love to see more of them sold. So this is the Uni color. Works in the same way. Has 7 different colors, whereas the Pilot Color Eno, has a rainbow of 8 total colors. And of course, these aren't the only colored leads available in the US. This pen here, it's a Muji mechanical pencil. It has Pentel colored lead inside, and Pentel lead is available in 0.5, 0.7, and I believe 0.9. And you can get it in red and blue, although I'm not seeing any of my blue. And I really like the Pentel colored lead because it's actually a more yellow, warmer influenced lead than the lead in the red Color Eno. So for now, we're going to put our INC color point to the side because it's really more of a lead holder, and we're just going to focus on our mechanical pencils that take colored leads. Alright, so for today's review, we're mostly going to be looking at the 0.7 millimeter for the NanoDia and the 0.7 millimeter for the Pilot Color Eno. So the Pilot Color Eno is primarily available in 0.7 lead, at least what I could find through Amazon. It has the same body as the Pilot Eno G, and you guys will see a review of that later on, but you can assume that I like it since I like these bodies well enough. You can get refill packs in every color. They are $9.50 on Amazon with free shipping for the full set, and I own the full set and I'm really happy with the full set. And I find that the pencils are actually fairly sturdy and long wearing for plastic mechanical pencils. I mean, I use the pink and the blue just about every day, and I've only replaced the blue like 3 times, which is pretty impressive to me. And that's over like several years. And they are available from several other stationery suppliers as well if you would prefer not to use Amazon. And I will caveat that all links from Amazon in my description are affiliate links. I see a little bit of money from Amazon when you purchase through those links. So if you like what I do on this channel, you want to help support what I do, that is an excellent way to help me do what I do. So the Unicolor / Uni NanoDia is available in 0.5 as well as 0.7 sizes. There are refill packs available for every color as well. I don't actually happen to own those, but I do have the mixed color packs, which have one of every color. They're really cute, and those are also available. So on Amazon, it is $13.70 for the 5 millimeter and $11.56 for the 7 millimeter. And this new product has been redesigned to be about 40% stronger than the old product. And I found that the old product was very prone to snapping. So it's nice to see that they've kind of rethought that and they've revisited it. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to swatch all of these colors and compare them to all of these colors. We are going to test for erasability, and then we're going to see how well graphite goes on top of them, how well these pencils can be used for overdrawing. We're also going to apply a little bit of alcohol marker to see how compatible they are for the lineless alcohol marker technique. So Uni promises best results if we use the eraser that came with this little pack here. None of the sets I've seen on Amazon are this particular pack. I picked this up at, I want to say, like Tokyo Hands, probably in Kyoto, maybe in Osaka. So, you know, this is not the American packaging. This is something that I brought over as, you know, a big art supply nerd and a comic artist. You know, I saw it and I was just like, oh, more colored leads, that's awesome. Because even though I'm happy with the Pilot Color Eno, I always want to try new things. So we're going to try erasing with their Uni eraser. We're also going to use my favorite eraser, the white stroke. We're also going to try using one of my other favorite erasers, the Tombow Mono Knock. In fact, I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, I need to refill that. So let's go ahead and get cracking. So next, I want to pit these head to head with my current favorite, the Pilot Color Eno pencils. Okay guys, so that is the Pilot Color Eno and the NanoDia head-to-head swatched. As you guys can probably see, the colors are fairly similar. There's a couple of discrepancies, but none of them are really glaring. I don't know why this particular red is looking so pale. Normally it's quite a bit darker. One difference is that the Uni NanoDia, the green is more of like a grass green, whereas with the Pilot Color Eno, it's more of a blue-green. Another difference is that the Uni NanoDia has much darker an orange than the Pilot Color Eno orange, which is more of like a golden yellow. And another difference is that there is actually a yellow in the Pilot Color Eno range, and there is no yellow in the Uni NanoDia range. So the Pilot Color Eno pencils are more sturdily built than the Uni NanoDia pencils. It does have a better grip. It's more comfortable to hold in the hand, especially for longer periods of time. But the Pilot Color Eno lead is way more prone to breaking because it's a much softer lead. Also, for the erasure test, we use the recommended Uni erasable. We used my favorite, the Creative Mark White Stroke, and we used a Tombow Knock 38. Now these two are the ones that I use the most often when I do my comic work, so I thought it was important to test with what I'm most familiar with. Uni didn't lie. It really does erase the best using their eraser. This is a pretty good little eraser. And it erases a little bit more cleanly, at least some colors do, erases a little bit more cleanly than the Pilot Color Eno. In fact, I found them to be just generally pretty comparable when you take into consideration the pros and the cons. So next what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick one color from each one because I just do not have that many hours in my life to test 14 different colors drawing the exact same face over and over again, but I can do it with two. I am going to draw a couple of little doodles using each of these leads, and then I'm going to go over them with graphite, and I'll get back with you guys regarding my thoughts as to how these handle as underdrawing pencils, which is what I usually use these sort of colored leads for. But before I do that, we can go ahead and quickly test alcohol marker reactivity. And what I'm basically just looking for is it doesn't get all over the nib, it doesn't ruin the nib. There is some blending, some blurring, some smearing is allowable. Not too much, that's why we usually use lighter colors for these. But see, that orange is like, I don't know about that. But we're also not looking for any sort of resist, and we don't want it to ruin the brush because I frequently use colored leads when I'm working with alcohol markers to do my lineless technique. So over here with the Pilot Color Eno, a couple of colors did have a bit of a resist. The yellow has a little bit of a resist. The pink seemed to have a little bit of a resist initially. The blue, maybe a little bit of resist. Over here, the NanoDia is much more likely to smear and lift up. So we get smearing here, we get smearing with the purple, with the red, with the dark blue, and definitely with the orange. It's a your mileage may vary situation though. I feel like both kind of fall within acceptable tolerances. Alright, so that concludes the sketching test. For the NanoDia lead, I found that it's harder, so it gets sharper and can cut into the paper while I'm sketching, which is not really what I'm looking for. This would absolutely not be good for sketching on more loosely woven papers like mulberry papers or like watercolor papers. It wasn't difficult to pencil over, and it wasn't prone to smearing. Sometimes the Color Eno can be a little bit smeary. Sometimes with the Color Eno, when I'm penciling, it's a bit like cutting through the prior layer of lead as well. It didn't really feel like that with the NanoDia. It seemed to just go over it. Both leads take ink decently well. I inked with one of my old favorites, the Kuretake Fudego Kochi. This is a Fude pen that I've inked in my sketchbook with many times, so I'm very familiar with it, and it inked equally well over both leads, so to me there wasn't really a significant difference in terms of handling or inking. So in the end, which is better, the Uni NanoDia or the Pilot Color Eno? I think they both have their pros and cons, and it really depends on what kind of artist, what kind of sketcher you are, and what you're looking for in your leads and in your pencils. If you're looking for a sturdily built mechanical pencil to house your lead, I would recommend the Pilot Color Eno pencils over the Uni NanoDia pencils, just because they are definitely built to last, and they're built to be more comfortable than the Uni Color. The Uni Color pencils seem like they're built to get the job done, and they do that. And if you wish, you can put a more comfortable grip on your pencils, which you cannot do with the Pilot Color Eno. So if you want to customize your pencils for your grip, the Uni NanoDia might be a better pencil for you. They are also available in two sizes, 0.5 and 0.7, whereas the Pilot Color Eno is only available in 0.7. Pilot Color Eno lead is a little bit softer than the redesigned Uni lead. The Uni lead is fairly strong, way less prone to snapping and breaking, but that can cut into your paper, so it may be a bad choice if you enjoy drawing on more delicate papers or more temperamental papers. I found that both seem to work decently well with alcohol markers for what I'm looking for, and both are very erasable, which makes them ideal for doing underdrawings. You can ink on top of them and you can also pencil over them, so they could be really great pencils for comic artists or illustrators to use as well. So in the end, it really comes to your preference. The NanoDia pencils are slightly more expensive on Amazon. You do have more size choices, but you have fewer color options, and you can also buy the lead in a mix pack and use it in whatever pencil you wish. The Color Eno pencils are slightly less expensive. The pencils themselves are a little bit better built, but they are fairly soft. You may find you're going through a lot of lead because they tend to break a lot. You cannot buy the Color Eno lead in a mix pack like this. You can buy it in individual colors, and those are sold in sets of 3 on Amazon, or you can buy the full set of 8 colors, which includes soft blue, yellow, orange, blue, pink, green, red, and purple on Amazon as well. Of course, these are not the only colored lead options available to you. I have another video coming up where we talk about the colored Papermate leads. You guys can see a little preview right here. And you guys can also check out my INC color point review as well if you're looking for a really affordable budget option. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me this evening as we compared and reviewed the Uni NanoDia versus the Pilot Color Eno mechanical pencils. I hope this review was useful, helpful, and informative for you guys. If you like what I do and you want to help me do it, make sure you click that subscribe button. I know with review channels it's very easy to get what you need and then leave, but it would really mean a lot to me if you guys considered sticking around, because I do a lot of comic, watercolor, and alcohol marker reviews and tutorials here on this channel that you guys might enjoy. If you want to help me out in another way, you can head on over to my Patreon at patreon.com/NadoSoup and join the Art Nerd community. They get early access to just about every video I make, and they get priority during my Friday night Power Hour art stream. So if you enjoy watching people draw live and you'd like to ask some artsy questions, you're welcome to come on in and hang out on Friday evenings. If you're wondering where these cute characters are from, they are from my webcomic 7-Inch Kara. You can read that for free at 7inchkara.com or 7inchkara.tumblr.com. And I hope you guys will keep an eye out for the upcoming volume 2. I'm really excited about it. So I will see you guys again really soon with another awesome review or tutorial. Bye guys!